Now, my main costs here, the top one, inventory, $10,000, $10,082. That is what I spent on the inventory I showed in the last video. The Crazy Picker Life with Wheeler, Dealer, and Banana Peeler. When you're out of bubs, you're out of beer. When you're out of bubs, you're out of beer. It's kind of funny how jingles work. I've been singing the Schlitz jingle all night. I don't think Bubs works quite as well. When you're out of Schlitz, you're out of beer. This is Dealer with the Crazy Picker Life. Good morning, good morning, good morning, all you fellow pickers and would-be adventurers. Oh, yes, yes, yes. It is Wednesday morning. Hump day for all you people who work real jobs. Well, I think we had a little too much fun last night. By the time I got that video edited, last video, almost 3 o'clock, 3 a.m., I had a little trouble rolling out the barrel this morning. It's just before 6 a.m. I have orders to pack, and so I better get to that. On with the shoe. Okay, well, I put myself in a position to get done what I needed to get done today. I didn't get everything packed, but I got a good start. There's 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 there, and I probably have 10 more. I won't get them all done today. It's just not going to happen, but at least I'm at the point where I'm 24 hours or less. I'm shipping at least the next day, which, coming out of vacation, that's where I need to be. I also was able to put together everything to make kits. Banana Peeler, after he's done with his homework, will make those kits, and then I'm going to have to get checks off to my people that sent me some test strips. Like it's dark. Okay, whoop. Need something. So before I go home for breakfast, lost it. Before I go home for breakfast, trying to get caught up on packages that came in. There's a few other things that I haven't opened yet, but this came in. Some of you know that I belong to a beer club. Surprise, surprise. This is an international beer club. Whoa. So they send out once a month 12 beers. A monthly club. And I wanted to open these up and get these in the fridge in case I have to try something later. So we get 4 beers, 3 of each. Some of these are good, some of these aren't. I've had some really weird ones. This is a Zoller product of Germany. Can't read most of it. Looks pretty good. It's got a crown on it of some kind, or a hat. This one is, oh boy, Lawnmower Lager from Batterbrow. That has a phoenix and some other stuff on it. India styled pale lager beer. Still don't know where that one's made. Open up some lawnmower. Invite your neighbors. After all, laziness is a team sport. It says 2014. 2014, huh? Still don't know where we're made here. Oh, Stevens Point, Wisconsin. Look at that. Lawnmower beer. Okay. Lochdown Scotch Ale. Oh, that looks interesting. 8% alcohol. Arcadia Ales. Got the Scottish triangle on there. Alright, that looks interesting and probably potent. And a Reitenberger Emmer wheat beer, product of Germany. Okay, so some German beer and a Scotch ale. Scotch ale. Oh, Scotch ale. That's totally different. And a lawnmower from Stevens Point, Wisconsin. Well, that ought to be interesting. When I get around to it, when I have a chance, probably later this week or this weekend, maybe I'll try one of those and I'll give a short review. Uh-oh. Time to get up or something. I have alarms on my watch. I have 3 of them and I use them all. Gotta wake up when you need to wake up, right? Okay, I'm going home. I'm gonna have some breakfast, get the kids started on school, and I'll have to come back in here and finish up before I go to the post office, get done what I can get done. Wish me luck on my 2-mile run today. Alright, later on in the show tonight, I'm going to break down the numbers. Now, the super long, crazy picking video that came out yesterday, the hour and 40-minute one, that shows everything that we picked up on our 10-day picking adventure. I'm going to go over the numbers of the trip, what we spent, all that kind of stuff a little later in the show today. I came in again. I got my little guys with me for a little while. Wheeler came in for a little while to help me out, and I mostly got caught up on orders and things that were very important that were backlogged. I start feeling real antsy when I don't get caught up and stay on top of stuff, because you can just get buried and it just grinds on you. So I don't know, I didn't count them here. The envelopes. Okay, I didn't count these. I don't know. Those are the envelopes for test strips. There's a bunch of orders there, and a bunch of orders there, and a couple orders there. It's over 20 orders. It's quite a bit. So I feel good about getting caught up on that. Now, you know, I have 3 that I didn't get to that came in today, later today. 1 or 2 are UPS. I'm just not going to get to those today. Both those came in today. One just happened. The other one just happened this early afternoon too. So those will go out tomorrow. I don't feel bad about those. So I'm 3 in the hole. I have paperwork, bills, returns, all that kind of stuff. But that doesn't press me like orders. Having orders that need to go out, or for the test strips, people send the test strips in. They want their money quick. Otherwise my phone starts ringing. Where's my money? And I don't blame them. So some of those things are like 4, 5, 6 days in our mail. I got those all turned around and done. That feels good. Now I have to apologize for the video yesterday. Not that it was super long. It just took forever to upload. I'm making a decision and I just haven't had a chance to think or call, but I got to get faster internet. There is an option for that. I just got to get them in here. We're going to have 2 internet services because one is just not as reliable as I would like, and I can't be without internet. Our local internet provider likes to do updates and stuff at midnight when we're working on weekends and stuff like that. I just can't have that. So anyway, who knows when that video came out. It's late. It'll be a good one. Hope you watched it. Lots of good stuff there. off to lunch, off to more school, down to the post office, regular stuff, back in the office after supper. Well, we're here after supper with the Coffee Maestro.
Coffee Ninja, here goes the craziness.
7:43 at night, first coffee of the day. Of course, I had some other. So I'm playing pack and order, do something else, pack and order, do something else, because I'm sick of packing orders. So I packed an order, I did some bills, I'm packing an order, then I think I'm going to list something. I'm going to do that for a while, and then, I don't know, I think I have 10 orders, 9 orders, 8 orders. I'm going to do that for a while, and then I'm going to do the numbers here. Numbers of the trip. My coffee is coming alive. I think there's some sort of a Terminator.
Very normal till the gooseneck starts coming at you.
The gooseneck, or is that like a giraffe or some sort of mutant ninja? I don't know. I'm a little scared. Okay, gotta have the coffee. So, I think after the coffee I'll be able to talk numbers. Wow, see how long that took to come out? The brain was thinking that whole time of that strange, quiet, silent stare, and then the mouth started talking. There's quite a delay. I think that's bad. Oh no. Oh. Let's talk some numbers from the trip. Now, I've had to do some thinking about how to present numbers over the years, and things have changed for the better over the last 6, 12, even 18 months for a number of reasons. The biggest reason is I'm borrowing less money for inventory. I used to have to borrow more money for inventory, and so a portion of every dollar that I spent on inventory, I would have to pay in interest. And I'm very, very close to being a cash business. And that's been tough because we've expanded our inventory over the last couple of years dramatically. I mean, we just doubled or tripled our inventory in the last 2-3 years. And so there's a lot of reinvestment in inventory. That's a cash flow issue. And you cannot live off your inventory and grow your inventory without capital. And so that's kind of a complicated discussion. But at this point, our inventory is fairly large. It's paying me a decent salary. It's paying for Wheeler. It's paying for our office. It's paying for everything. And I have to do very, very little borrowing unless I want to. Sometimes there's a reason to, like I get a 0% loan offer, and it just makes sense if I can buy something at a 5 or 10% discount with cash. But at this point, things are good that way. And so some of the information that I'm about to show you has actually gotten better. My multipliers, my bottom line, all that kind of stuff. What else can I say about this? I am not an accountant. I am not a CPA. I am not a lawyer. These numbers are rough that I'm about to show you. I'm going to explain them in some detail. But, this is for informational purposes only. Your results may vary. You'll have to do your own picking, etc., etc., etc. So this is my story right here, okay? So we went on a 10-day trip, and I took my family with me, and it's a business trip. We are picking every day. We're traveling to different locations. It's exciting because many of the deductions, many of the things that we do are business deductions. Lodging, Every mile I travel with my vehicle for business is a deduction. You can deduct some of the food. We don't do an awful lot of that. I don't keep track of a lot of my tips. Any shipping home, that's a deduction. Several other miscellaneous things are a deduction. The inventory itself is a deduction in a sense. And then obviously on the sales side, that's sales, so that's taxable. There's a profit there that's taxable after it's all said and done. Again, not a tax presentation. Okay, so let's take a look at these numbers. Now I've written everything out here on my board. This is the 10-day trip. On this side I've got costs. On this side I've got some estimated sales and what that will result in profit. I'll explain that in a minute. Now my main costs here, the top one, inventory, $10,000, $10,082. That is what I spent on the inventory I showed in the last video, the super 1 hour and 40-minute haul video. We spent 10 grand, okay? I think we got an awful lot for 10 grand. And you'll have to watch the daily vlog and piece some things together, and I'll try to show some things down the line. Just to, you know, clear one thing up. Our monthly sales average, just to throw it out there, give or take, has been about $20,000 sales per month, all our eBay IDs and our Amazon. It's been about the average for the last 3 years. What has changed dramatically is the profit margin. Okay, so the sales have stayed similar. The profit margin has changed, and part of that is I'm able to shift some of my energy towards figuring some things out. Same with Wheeler. We don't list quite as hard as we used to. We don't list smaller things, we list bigger things, and you know, that type of thing. So that's about where we're at. Okay, back to this. Gas, we did about 2,800 miles. I did an estimate at 15 miles per gallon, $2.25 a gallon. It came up to about $450. Now, I don't deduct typically vehicle expenses. I deduct by the mile. And so gas is not a straight tax deduction, but by the mile makes more sense for me. Typically, you know, it just doesn't cost all that much to run my van. Food, we buy food anyway, and so I had to make an estimate what we spent up and beyond normal food for our family. I put $120 a day additional what our normal budget is. So $1,200 is an estimate. Lodging, $1,500. That might be a little on the high side. A few of the rooms that we stayed at were what I'd call economy rooms in the, you know, $60, $70 before taxes. And some were quite expensive, $300. And I also got at least 1 or 2 freebie rooms because of points and mileage, and hotels.com gives you a free room and all that kind of stuff. And so basically $150 a night is an average, but it may have been more like $1,350 or something. I didn't go back and get every minute detail. What I didn't do is I didn't calculate the tax. I had the numbers and I didn't calculate the tax on there. I just estimated it. Tax is pretty high on hotels. Fun, I just did a little brain thinking on that. I just put $1,000. That easily covers the fun that we did. Miscellaneous would be like tips. I do like to tip. I like to tip people that are working hard in jobs that are not that fun and that show enthusiasm. These would be people like waiters. These would be people like tram or van drivers. These would be cleaning people, all that. other miscellaneous expense. It cost me $150 to send those 18 packages back, which is super reasonable, and it's a super secret. So my total for expenses out of pocket for this trip, approximately $14,732, which is a pretty big chunk of change. But estimated sales. What I did here is I broke it out in estimated sales. If we sell the $10,000 inventory for $50,000, $60,000, $70,000, or $80,000. And I put an asterisk down here because I think we picked this well. I think our sales will be somewhere in the $70,000 to $80,000 range from this inventory. You know, I can't give you proof right now for that, but that is based on initial estimates, looking at stuff. I'll try to give some proof along the way over the next months and such, but that is where I think we're at. And you can watch our videos and make your own conclusion on that. We typically try not to pick anything up that we can't make 3 times our money on. I do pick up some beer stuff from time to time that I like and that I'll double my money on. We don't win on every item, but we also pick up a lot of things that we do 10 times or more our money on, and we got some major scores like that this time. I'm convinced that the $6,000 we spent at this one stop on camera stuff, I'm convinced that's a 10 times your money deal all the way around, which is 6,000 to 60. So that's part of the basis, and that's from a sampling of what we got there. Okay, so the way I calculate this is the amount that we sold. I use a multiplier 0.7 on each of these. That encompasses things like our eBay fees, our PayPal fees, Wheeler's commission, things like office, things like insurance, things like shipping. We do a lot of free shipping, at least on the camera side. It also encompasses some of the drift. And by drift, I mean sales that we run on items or lowering the price over time. And so this is an estimate that I've come up with. I used to use 0.6, and I think that was low. And I also know that we don't pay much in interest anymore on anything. And we've got some other deals with shipping and with shipping supplies and just some other rebates from eBay for doing top rated, all that kind of stuff. So we've maximized things and reduced our expenses a little bit. The other thing that happens here is as you sell more, this 0.7 goes down a little bit. It could actually, well, it goes up. So it could be 0.71, 0.72, 0.73. In other words, our expenses are less the more we sell that stuff for, because there are fixed expenses in there. The fixed expenses are like the office and the insurance and all that kind of stuff. So there is a slight bump the more you sell stuff for. You get to keep a little bit more. So this is a rough number, and this is from a couple years of doing my own taxes, figuring this all out, looking at my numbers, all that kind of stuff. So for example, if I sell everything for $50,000 over the next year or so, you know, most of it's going to sell within a year. A bunch of it's going to sell over the next couple months. We're not going to get it all listed for probably 90 days. Anyway, $50,000 when it's all said and done times 0.7, and then you need to subtract out the expenses, which is this number. And what you're left with is an estimated profit, $20,268. So at $50,000 sales, I'm saying I just turned $10,000 into a profit of $20,268. So that's what? 200% return on investment after expenses? That's pretty good. It gets better. At $60,000, it's $27,268. At $70,000, it's $34,268. 41,268. At 80,000, it's 41,268. So I'm estimating that when it's all said and done, we're going to have something like this. Somewhere between 34 and 41. Maybe, let's just call it 37,500. That's 375% return on investment on 10,000. That's what I feel we just did. Now, before you say, whoa, dude, you knocked it out of the park, which we did, and I'm not trying to brag on that. I'm not trying to, you know, get all googly on that. This guy right here, Wheeler, and myself are going to be in for a lot of work. There's a lot of work. We've got a couple thousand items to list, which means you got a couple thousand items to pack. You know, you got to order all the supplies to do that. You've got to answer all the questions, all that. So there's a lot of work involved. I think we'll be done with most of the work in the equivalent of a 90-day period, and so that's pretty good. That's a pretty good buying trip. Okay, I am going to wrap this vlog up. It's 9:30. My other vlog is still percolating along. 9:30 at night. It's only like 12 hours plus late putting up there. I'm going to have to get faster internet. I don't know if we're staying in this building, and so I just haven't figured out if I want to have the faster internet, but I don't want to pay the $200 hookup fee and move in a couple months. I don't think that's what's going to happen. We'll probably be here at least 6 months, if not a year, or I might buy the building. But with everything else that's been going on, I've been procrastinating on, got an itch on my leg here. Been procrastinating getting that faster internet to upload these videos. I'm hoping to do that. So I'm going to end the vlog here. Here's what you can do. Now, you've seen our haul. You probably have seen some of the picking videos and the travel videos for the 10 days. I have some questions stored up that I haven't answered in full that have come in over the last weeks, and I can talk about those. If you have questions on our trip, if you have questions on the numbers I've just shown you, other than taxes or legal or anything like that, I mean, if you want to ask something, I'll attempt to answer it in some way that, you know, is not really advice. But, you know, I prefer to stay away from those areas because it's really, I don't give legal or tax advice. I'm going to do a question and answer session, most likely with Wheeler on Friday. We'll record it Friday night or Saturday night, and we'll release that. Tomorrow will be a regular daily vlog for once, I hope. A slower day, I'm hoping. I'm still packing orders tonight. And then we'll do that question and answer. So if you want to get some questions answered, submit those as soon as possible, and we'll get them in to the next show. Now, if you just have regular general questions, you can put those in there too, and we'll just treat this as a once in a while question answer thing. So I appreciate comments that have been coming through. I appreciate your support and watching. I enjoy reading your comments. Enjoy doing this show. Thanks for watching. Pick well and list often. Did I get anything today? Oh, I went down to the local flea market place. They do have something for me. I just was so tired I wasn't going to look at it. They're going to save it for me for the weekend. Pick well, list often. Dealer out.
Hey, Wheeler.
Dealer Production.